Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Tangled Up in Books. My name is Yari, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a reading wrap-up of what I have read so far this year. So let's just get started. Since I haven't done a wrap-up monthly, I'm just going to do them like every couple of months where I've read like a good amount of books I could talk about. So that's what I decided to do. So here is what I've read from January until now, which is April 2nd, but I haven't finished anything this month yet. Okay, so let's start in order, and if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my reading journal where it says like where I wrote down like my star ratings and stuff. Okay, so let's start with January. So the first book that I read in January this year was Frankly in Love by David Hume. This is a story about a boy named Frank Lee. This is a story about him and what he's going through in high school, and just like dealing with his parents, because him just trying to live up to what his parents want him to do, but also wanting to do what he wants to do, what he feels it's right for him, but trying to please his parents as well. So Frank, he is Korean American, and his parents want him to date a Korean American girl, but he ends up developing feelings for someone who's not Korean American. So he and his friend Joy, they decide to fake date so they could date the people they want to date while still making their parents happy by making them think that they are dating each other, which is all that they want. So like that's like the main like plot point of this book, but there's so much more to it. So much more happens, and I really enjoyed it. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about this. So on to the next one. Okay, the next book I read in January. Well, I read a little bit of this back in December, I think, and that is Broken Throne by Victoria Aveyard. Okay, so this is just a collection of stories set in the Red Queen world. A lot of these stories we follow like different characters. We don't follow like the main protagonist in the Red Queen series, which is Mare Barrow. Or yeah. So there were stories here that I did enjoy, and there were other ones that I didn't enjoy as much. I actually didn't give this a rating just because they are short stories, and feel like each short stories would be a different rating, because like I said, there were certain ones where I really enjoyed and other ones I didn't. Let me see, maybe. Okay, Queen Song I really liked. That's just a backstory of Cal's mom. Steel Scars, not so much, which Queen Song and Steel Scars is they were previously published in like a short bind up, like a little book, and I read those 2 short stories in the past, so I reread it in this book, and again, Queen Song was really good, really enjoyed that one, and then Steel Scars, not so much. The next story was World Behind. I think that one was okay. It wasn't like, the only reason why I was leaning more towards it was okay is just because it didn't follow any of the characters from the Red Queen world. It was new characters, so I had no like no connection to these characters, and it was a short story, so yeah. The next story was Iron Heart, which was a short story about Evangeline. That one I did enjoy because one of my favorite characters from the Red Queen series is Evangeline. She's a really good villain, and it was cool to see what she was up to and what she was doing after the events of the how's the name of the of War Storm. The next one was Firelight, which we follow both Mare and Cal. That one was really good as well because again they were characters that I already knew I had some sort of connection to, so it was nice to see where they were at and what they were doing. And the last story is Farewell, which was a really short story. One chapter was Maven and the other was the other chapter, the 2 short chapters was Cal, from Cal's perspective. And honestly, I can't remember much about this story, but I think I enjoyed it, but I don't remember what this one was about. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on Broken Throne. Then in February I read one book, which was Nocturna by Maya Montaigne. So I get this book 3 stars out of 5. This is like it's a Latinx book. It's Latin inspired, and I was really interested to read this because the author is half Dominican and I am Dominican. So I was really intrigued to read a story, one that was inspired by like Latin influence, and to read a fantasy story written by a at least half Dominican author. But I didn't love it. I didn't hate it either. It's just, I don't know, it didn't wow me like I was hoping it would. But I am so intrigued to see what's gonna happen in the next book. And this is Maya Montaigne's debut novel, so I'm interested to see like how her writing develops and just where the story goes from here, because I felt like there like it was good, but I don't know, I didn't fall in love with it. But like I said, I am really intrigued to see where the story is gonna go from where it left off. Even though I feel like, if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like it ended in a way where this could be like the conclusion and like not be a series. So I'm interested to see what the plot line for the next book is gonna be and what's gonna happen. Okay, so then in March I read a little bit more. My pace started to pick up a little bit, so I'm gonna start off with, okay, so I read Supernova by Marissa Meyer in March. And if you're interested, I have a vlog where I read a good portion of this in that vlog, so I'll link up. I'll put a little what is that called? I forgot what that's called. The little I forgot what it's called. I'll put that there, and I'll link it down below as well. But yeah, so I gave Supernova 4 stars out of 5. I thought this was a really good conclusion, and I really enjoyed the journey reading this. The only thing is that, which is my complaint every book of this trilogy, which is that I wish there was more interaction with Oscar, Ruby, and Dana, which they're part of Adrian's team. And yeah, so if you don't know, Renegades is a superhero trilogy. It really focuses on the good versus evil, and yeah, like heroes versus villains. And yeah, so it all 3 books is dual perspective. Nova, which she is with the anarchists, which are like the villains, and then Adrian, who is with the Renegades, which are the heroes. And it follows Nova, where she is, something like really terrible happened to her family and she blames it on the Renegades. So in the first book, Renegades, she gets recruited into the Renegades so that she could learn their secrets and she could take them down from within. So yeah, so if you like really enjoy like superhero like movies or TV shows, I really recommend this trilogy, which again, the first book is Renegades, second book is Arch Enemies, and then this last book is Supernova. Like I said, I really enjoyed this. 4 stars. Really wish there was more of Oscar, Ruby, and Dana, which Oscar is my favorite character in the whole series, in the entire series. So it's sad that there aren't a lot of scenes with him, because he is so funny. That's why I love him, because like literally, like I think like my yellow tabs, I don't know if you could tell, I'm pretty sure they're all are Oscar, because he always has something funny to say. The next book that I read in March was And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which is like a murder mystery novel. I didn't give this a rating, which thinking about it, I probably would give it like a 3.5 stars out of 5. I thought it was an interesting story. I don't have this book physically, so I'm just gonna put a picture. I just listened to the audiobook of it because I needed to listen to the audiobook while I was like cleaning out my closet. So I picked that audiobook and I listened to like 2 hours of it when I was cleaning my closet, and then the last 4 hours like doing other stuff within that week. So yeah, I thought this was a really interesting story. I didn't guess the ending about who the murderer was. And when it was revealed, I'm like, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Okay, so basically what the story is about is these, I think it's like 9 people, they get a letter from this person saying to go to this island. They like get invited for like the weekend. So they all go, and then the first night a record plays where it says like all these like horrible things that these people that have done, and then slowly one by one they each get murdered, and they are trying to figure out who the murderer is and what's happening. And yeah, and as you could tell by the title of the book, by the end of it they're all dead. So yeah, so that was an interesting like story to read or like to listen to. I think I would recommend this book if you're like interested in like reading Agatha Christie, or like interested in reading like a murder mystery kind of book. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, now that I'm thinking about it more, it was pretty good. So yeah, I would recommend it. And the next book that I read in March was Conceal Don't Feel by Jen. I still can't pronounce her last name if you see my vlogs. Jen Kalonita. If you see my vlog, you see every time I said this author's name, I butchered her last name because I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So that's her last name. So I saw a video of the author pronouncing her name, and it's Kalonita. I have no idea why I found that so hard to pronounce. So yeah. Yes, so it's for Red Conceal Don't Feel. This is part of the A Twisted Tale series. Yes, so it's for Red Conceal Don't Feel. This is part of the A Twisted Tale series, which in this series, each author takes a Disney movie that we love and gives it a twist, and hence a twisted tale, a twist, and which completely changes the story. And in this book, obviously, is Frozen, and the twist is, what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other? I really enjoyed this book. It's really short, but I really enjoyed it. One of the things I really loved was how the author was able to take lines from the actual movie, but the story was completely different. So I really liked how she was able to like write this new story but incorporate lines from the movie. I don't know, I really enjoyed that. So these books aren't written by the same author. Like certain books have different authors, and I'll give you an example. The first book, which I feel like it makes sense because it's the first book in this series, so they were just figuring out how to like do this whole thing. So the first book is A Whole New World, which is based off Aladdin, and then the twist is what if Aladdin never found the lamp. But in that as well, the author took lines from the actual movie, but like a good chunk of the beginning was pretty much exactly like the movie. So it wasn't it didn't feel like something different or different and new. It felt like, you know, the movie just written. So I really enjoyed how Jen was able to incorporate lines from the movie, but in a completely new way, but still have elements of Frozen that we know and love. So yes, Conceal Don't Feel, and I gave this 5 stars. So these are all the books I have read so far this year, including And Then There Were None. Yes, let me know in the comments down below what you have read so far. What's your favorite book you've read so far this year? I think mine has to be Conceal Don't Feel. I think that's the only one I gave 5 stars to as well. But yeah, I'm gonna put this down because it's heavy. Okay, so like always, all of my social media links will be linked down below in the description box. You can follow me on there for like more up-to-date updates on what I'm reading and stuff. And then also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so I can know what kind of videos to post on here, as well as don't forget to subscribe to become a member of a little family here on Telling Living Books. And I'll catch you guys here next time on Telling Living Books. Bye.